Hey, what's up? So welcome back. This is another episode of something random and different. This one's going to be on the tow rig, the F350. So I got a couple things I'm going to do to it, which is going to help aid in towing in general. And then when the truck camper's done, obviously that's going to weigh X amount of money in the bed, plus hooking up the trailer and pulling this at the same time. So it's going to be a lot of weight, a lot of tongue weight. I know the truck can handle it, but let me explain what I'm going to do. Probably should have videoed this part outside before I pulled it in, but it really doesn't matter. So it seems like most of the half-ton trucks, 1500s, F-150s, Colorados, Canyons, Rangers, etc. Everything truck-wise has a rake, where the front sits a little bit lower than the back. This truck is different. It virtually sits level, and I've heard that's how the F350s are set up. I mean, it looks good sitting there and just driving the truck. But then, of course, I mean, no matter how much capacity your truck has, when you put weight on the back, it's going to go down somewhat. So that's what has been bothering me lately is whenever I hook up the deck over trailer with the Explorer, that setup doesn't use a weight distribution hitch. So the back does go down an inch and a half or so, and it just looks kind of funny to me. It's nose high. I just went around and measured. I know that the floor is kind of a slope towards the drain, so it's not really 100% accurate. But it looks like the front sits stock roughly a quarter inch higher than the back. So it's kind of annoying. So what am I going to do to solve this? So I was doing some research, and of course, a dually truck is different than a single rear wheel truck. There's not as much out there. But I did find from Readylift, they sell this kit. It's basically a 5-inch block to replace what I think, I haven't measured it yet, looks to be about a 2-inch, 2.5-inch factory block. So it's essentially going to give me an inch and a half, 2 inches, well, probably 2 to 2.5 inches more lift in the back, which will have it look kind of like a factory truck with some rake. And then it will compensate for when I have a trailer hooked up. It should still have somewhat of a rake, or at the least be level. So that's the plan. And that comes with the blocks, the hardware, U-bolts, and also the drive shaft carrier bearing spacer as well. So a complete kit. I haven't opened these up yet. I'm in a few truck camper groups on Facebook, and a lot of people talk about how heavy the truck camper, how some of them are so heavy, how they have body roll, this and that, and should they do airbags or sway bars or this or that. And these Timberins keep coming up more and more and more as a nice solution. Basically, you replace your factory bump stop with these, and they'll come in. They don't contact when you're driving the truck, but I guess when you get a little bit of body roll, they will contact enough to stabilize, but still not interfere with the travel. So that's another reason why I like this setup, is these keep the factory bump stop arms, whereas some of these no-name blocks don't have that at all. So this is a must for me to have to function with the Timberins. So this combination is supposed to be a game changer. Everything I tow, I mean, see if you can see it out the window. Travel trailer out there, it's 37 foot, basically has about 1,100 pounds of tongue weight. I mean, I do run a weight distribution hitch, which levels out the truck. but still in all. And then the deck over trailer, there it is, behind the Equinox. That with the Explorer on it is just over 1,000 pounds of tongue weight as well. So one thing I noticed, my old trailer was a 26 foot. So this is a 20 foot. So having a shorter trailer moves the weight closer to the tongue. So I never measured tongue weight on the 26 foot, but I can tell the difference. There's definitely more tongue weight now. And I do not run a weight distribution hitch on that. So this will solve that problem. All right, so I will get this thing in the air on jack stands. It'll be the first time I actually take these tires off. I have not taken these wheels and tires off of this truck yet. There's been no reason, but put this up on jack stands and get this situated. All right, well that took a sec. The inner wheel on the back here is definitely hub-centric on that ring, so it's not really rusty, but it just had enough to grip it. So sprayed it down WD, and then a little bit of vibration from the air hammer came right loose, so all set. So the factory nuts on the factory U-bolts are 24 mil. Got those soaking, and then put a jack under both sides. So hopefully I can lower it down and get it done pretty simple. All right, came apart nice and easy, so that was nice. So these are obviously factory Ford. That's why I like these Readylift ones, is it maintains that factory bump stop arm, whatever you want to call it. Now you do have to pay attention. The bottom is marked front with an arrow, so make sure that you put these on the correct way, orientation, or else your pinion will be off. So I already got these laid out. This is for this side, the other one's over there. And then once I get that part situated, there is the drive shaft carrier bearing spacer. So I'll get that put on. But let's continue on here. All right, I got both sides in place. So hopefully there's enough thread, because these things are pretty damn long. My deep socket already ran out of space, so I'm going to have to get the cutoff wheel and cut off some of that so I can finish tightening them up. But they went on just like factory, pretty sweet. All right, so the spacer's installed. Really wasn't worth videoing. You just take out the two 14 millimeter bolts, put the spacer in, and then bolt in the two provided 5/8 bolts. So all said and done. All right, let's look at the Timberins here. Just kind of laying things out, so they kind of give you a picture here on what to do. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you remove the factory bump stops, we reuse that same hole, and they're going to go in this position just like so. Bolt in from the top, lock washer, regular washer, and then the bracket itself is fixed. Then there's 3 holes, I guess, depending on axle configurations or trucks. There may need to be some adjustment to center this on the leg. So I gotta knock these out first. I believe they said they're 15 millimeters. Hopefully they'll come out nice. All right, well that was super easy. Got those threaded on. They fit in there really nice. The radius of the bracket contours to the frame. So basically the open side is inward. And the head of those bolts were 14 millimeter. All right, so bringing our attention back over here. So this is the main bump, which I'm just gonna put this in right now and I'll see how it sits. When the truck camper goes on and I start using that, I'll probably end up putting these in. This makes it, you know, obviously 1 inch taller. So that'll really add the support for the truck camper sway. But yeah, I'm just gonna put the bottom ones in for now. So I give you 2 different size bolts, obviously the short bolts, large fender washer up through the bracket, lock washer, lock nut. And we're good to go. All right, wheels and tires are back on. Everything looks really good here. So obviously when I drop it down, I'll 100% verify that the center hole is the right hole. So took some time, clean up the hubs, anti-seized everything, wire brush stuff. I hate putting anything back on. Not good. And then I'm going to leave the hubcap stuff off, get this stuff all cleaned up. A lot of dirt and debris gets stuck back in there. I don't know, I almost want to just leave them off. I just hate how stuff stays back in there. We'll see. And I wanted to verify this measurement. So the factory blocks are indeed 2 inches. So, yeah, now the truck sits. I mean, it sits how it should have been sitting. It's not overly crazy. There you go. So now, to me, this is how it should have been. It's got this slight rake to it. I mean, I can really notice it. Again, I wish I would have took a video before I pulled it in, but like I said, the front of the truck was basically a 1/4 inch higher than the back. So super happy with that. Super easy install. And then let me just verify these bump stops. So Timberin wants to have anywhere between a 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches of space. And I have that. So perfect. And they are centered. And everything looks great. All right, so that wraps that up. Just a couple more products / upgrades I wanted to get done to the tow rig. That's going to help me with everything from towing the family 37-foot travel trailer to hauling the Explorer on the deck over, and then eventually this in the back of the truck and hauling the Explorer. The combination of the lift and those Timberin bump stops are going to be amazing. So again, not really meant to be a how-to video this time, just kind of a walk through general overview of how to install it and do it, and how it turns out. So like, subscribe if you're not, and see you in the next one.